Hi, my name is Kjmeuer, and I want to share with you a different way to think about something called scooped abs or neutral spine. That is maybe something you've heard in your Pilates mat class, or you've heard about someone saying, pull your belly button into your spine so that you're engaging your core, but you're leaning up and out of your spine, but you still feel confused and you don't know what that really feels like for you and your body. Number one, you're exactly where you need to be. I felt that same way. But when I went to my mat Pilates training, the master trainer at the time said the number one thing to remember about neutral spine and scooped abs is, one, it's different for everyone because we have a different bone structure. So think about a house. Every house has a different foundation, so you can't build the same house on the same foundation because each foundation is different. Your bones are the same way. You have a structural pelvic floor that has a certain width, a certain depth, and a certain height. So there's just different things about each of our bodies that neutral spine and scooped abs will look different and also feel very different for each one of our bodies. So that's number one. Number two, she also said, and I love this part, she said 80% of neutral spine is just awareness. It's just trying to tap into your body and how does it feel in your body. And I apply that to scooped abs as well. So these are just two cues or two ways that you might think about these ideas from mat Pilates that you can take honestly way outside the mat and into any endeavor that you're doing, any modality. So whether you're a power lifter, whether you're a ballroom dancer, whether you just want to sit up tall at your desk and put the work into your core versus your lower back, take this, see what happens, and post in the comments below if anything was helpful. And I'm happy to follow up. So I intentionally put the mat here. This is why this angle was so weird. And I intentionally did it so you can see my spine. But one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna lie down flat and your feet are just gonna be hip distance apart, shoulders hip distance, and you just kind of rock and roll. See, let your spine, and just let it hang. And then you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna make a triangle with them, like this. So thumbs together and your pointer fingers together. And then you're gonna take this and you're gonna put your thumbs either on your belly button or just above it, and you let the triangle point down towards your heels. So I'm gonna peek up, but it looks a little bit like this. And the reason that we're doing this is because we all sit down and we kind of have this like curve of our spine, but we're not really sure where neutral spine is, because neutral spine isn't arching your back up off the mat, but it's also not pressing it down so you tilt your pelvic floor up either. But if we were to think about water filled to the brim in this triangle right here, and we started to do what I did, over exaggerate this tipping, like we're gonna tip the water down towards our heels, arch the back, and then we're gonna intentionally tip it so that it spills towards our heart, but we're gonna push really hard into the mat through our spine. You're gonna start to over exaggerate that to kind of rock back and forth, gently and slowly, until you kind of feel like, okay, that's too much, that's too much. Okay, how would I allow this water to be right at the brim, filled to the brim, and it's not spilling towards my heels and it's not spilling towards my heart, it's kind of in between, and my spine isn't pressed into the mat, but it's also not popping up and off the mat. And so once you kind of find that, hopefully you can see, again, my spine isn't necessarily pressed and I'm able to talk, I'm able to breathe, so I'm not pushing and forcing it, but I'm also not hyperextending it up off the mat either. Like there's maybe a tiny little bit of space. But ultimately, this allows me to pull my belly button, softly engaging it into the core and then scooping it up and underneath the rib cage. Naturally, easily, gently. So I tend to be a high sensation person, and so when I think of scooped abs, I think, I have these skinny jeans and I have to really pull it in, but do you see how that really engages, and now everything's really tight and I can barely, you can hear it in my voice, it gets a little tighter. But if you find that neutral spine and then you can just gently pull the belly button into the spine, I'm lifting my arms just so you can see this, but again, I could do a Pilates roll up and tuck the pelvic floor and start to roll up. I could also do a sit up and still feel like I'm engaged, but I don't have that high sensation. I'm really scooping and pulling like I'm trying to get into skinny jeans. It's just engaged. It's just here. I'm here, my spine is long, and I also feel like my spine is lengthening. So sometimes after this exercise as well, I start to feel like I want to lift my shoulder blades up and lengthen them, because I just feel like now I can reach up and out of my hip bones, through my lungs, lift my heart, and breathe. So knowing this, when I do these pop-up Pilates series over at the Yoga Sangha, what I do then is kind of bring up, okay, how does this feel in your body? Take a note of it, and then as we move through class, where can you notice this sensation again in your body? Because again, remember, neutral spine and scooped abs is one, different for every single person because we have a different bone structure. That's just fact. And then two, it also is something that you have to decide in your mind how it feels for you. And so this exercise, just so you know, feels different for me every single day because I'm a different body every single day. And it will start to feel different because you're growing your knowledge, right? So ideally this helps you in not just Pilates or any Pilates class that you go to, but any other exercise modality that you're doing, just so that again, you're starting to lengthen your spine, right? Stand tall, but you're engaging your core, taking the work out of, your lower back and putting it into your core, not to high sensation, tense it up, but just to engage it, right? Like there's a difference between me hyperextending into my neck and just lifting my neck, but I can still soften my shoulders. Right? So I hope that helps. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please message me. But I hope this helps you find what scooped abs and neutral spine feels like to you and your body, and you can take it wherever you need to go. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.